Unit 8 is marketing, and my past experience when I was working at the university, it is obviously a very important section. And obviously it is, because you may have the best new mousetrap the world's ever seen, but if no one knows about it and no one can actually get hold of it, you go bust. So one of the problems, well, there are two major problems in new business development. Number one is you're undercapitalized, so you can't fund your cash flow. And number two, you don't spend enough money on marketing to make yourself aware. And simply saying online marketing is free is both wrong and, secondly, wrong again. It costs money, it costs time. And also, if you think about most successful online businesses of going back to Amazon's generation, cost millions and millions of dollars to actually promote above the line in traditional media to make a market. I know currently you've got startup online businesses that are very successful, but generally relying purely and simply on online marketing will be an error. So there is basically three areas we want you looking at in marketing. Number one is marketing strategy in terms of who are your target markets, and use the variables that are available to you, and also use the results of your primary research. Who are your customers? What are their behaviors? When do they buy your product? And why and how often, etc., etc. Market segmentation, target markets. Think about secondly, your coverage strategy. Are you going to offer the same product at the same price, at the same place, etc., etc., to the target markets, or are you going to offer a differentiated marketing strategy? It's up to you. Think about it. And thirdly, we want you to look at positioning your product which is in the customer's head. In other words, your integrating marketing communications should actually suggest the quality and the position of the product. Think about clubs, or pubs or restaurants within Cheltenham. Where are they positioned? For example, Nando's and Turtle Bay as restaurants are casual dining, whereas the Daffodil and the Champignon Sauvage, Michelin star ratio, are up a market. Kebab house, cheesy chips, where are they positioned? Same with your product, your service. So that's your marketing strategy. Market segments, coverage, position statement. Secondly, we're looking at developing a series of tactical marketing strategy, and the easiest way to look at that is your marketing mix. I know it's an old-fashioned, it's a toolbox approach, but for simplicity's sake it's easy to go down that route. So we're looking at how to look at product. If it's not handled in section 1, detail the product, use product specification sheets. Pricing, you need to say, we've had plans with no prices in it. What are your prices? What are your promotional prices? What are your seasonal prices? What are you doing? Promotion, we need to think about the above the line, below the line, online, offline. What are you going to do? And don't describe state action plans. What are you actually going to be doing to achieve your objectives in terms of market penetration, gaining customers, retaining customers, etc., etc. So promotion, and look at the promotional mix, and don't worry if it's not relevant to you. It's advertising, publicity, public relations, direct sales, merchandising. Promotion, one important element, and you need to have a separate section on this, and again proactive action planning, is on your social media strategy. And what are you going to do? The key ones obviously are Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, but there may be others that are more relevant to your particular business, and you may want to utilize these in a more proactive manner. And I'd like to see, or rather we'd like to see, or they'd like to see rather, plans. What do you plan with your social media planning? Because obviously a number of your targets are social media savvy, and you need to fit your communications within their media habits. So that's important. Distribution strategy, fourth P. How are you going to get your new mousetrap to the market? Again, online sales are important, but then think about how you're going to warehouse, how you're going to manage your inventory if it's necessary. Or if you're going for an app, how do you get the app to the market, and how do you actually create awareness of that app being available? Extra P's for the service marketing are process, i.e. may relate back to standard operational procedures, so long as it's one place, either here or there, it doesn't matter. The service encounter. People, again, it may be looking at in your operations plan or your personnel plan, but who are the people? What are the skill sets? And physical. If you have a physical place that you're looking at, how are you going to manage the physical environment to achieve your successes in terms of, think about temperature, smells, lighting. Does it change the day? Think about local pubs. They open from 11 in the morning to 1 or 2 in the morning. So the physical environment will change throughout the day to meet the needs of the different customer groups. Are you doing that? Okay. So your target marketing, your marketing mix strategy, including your social media. Then finally is your tactics and programs, which are essentially a list of calendars of events. Who does what, when. It could well be a list of, what I'm looking for, charts. I've forgotten the word. Anyway, basically those organisational charts, you plan what's going on. Okay, so basically diary of events, of what you're trying to achieve. And they can go in an appendix, and they're action plans. They are doing, they're not descriptive. Gantt chart's the word I'm looking for. That's what we're looking for. Series, and you need to have that across the 7 Ps perhaps. Because there'll be non-promotional activity needs to be planned, and promotional activity needs to be planned. And give the detail. If, for example, you have a PR campaign which involves press release, who are the candidate media? If you're having a sales action plan, where are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? Who's going to do it? So it's what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, who's going to do it within the organisation. So I can identify, rather the marketers can identify clearly what you're seeking to achieve. One of the acid tests of this particular business plan is basically your flatmate, who's not on this module, can steal your business plan when you're finished and then take it away as a level of detail will allow them to steal your business. Ask to see previous examples that have been anonymised and not know the mark, and you'll see the level of detail we're seeking to achieve. Okay, good luck. Important section, you need to make your customer base aware of your product and service, the right time, the right place, the right price, etc. Thank you.